talking about the implication of shift in the global economic center of gravity from the west to the east. Do you see Asian economies continuing to drive economic growth?
Certainly. Demographics historically has been a big driver of relative economic growth among parts of the world. That changed in 1750 with the Industrial Revolution, which happened to occur in the UK. And what we saw was the economic centre of gravity shift westwards. And even around 20 years ago, it was somewhere around mid-Atlantic. If you look at where it's going today, it's roughly running through Istanbul. 30 years from now, it's going to be running roughly through Chennai, which underlines the growing weight of Asia in the global economy. And it's not just east-west, it's also a shift from north to south.
What is your outlook on crude, especially when we look at the Iranian elections in the current week?
Oil has been on an interesting trajectory this year. For most of the first 4 months of the year, we saw it still within that 105 to 120 band, where Brent has been range bound for pretty much most of the time since civil war kicked off in Syria at the end, Libya at the end of February 2011. Now, it's dropped below that band recently, suggesting to me that markets are pretty much discounted for geopolitical risk. One of the reasons for that certainly is a sense, and clearly this has been proved to be right, that nothing would happen before Iran's presidential election, first round on the 14th of this month, if there is a second round on the 21st. We still don't know who's going to win the election. Iran is a democracy, it's a one-man, one-vote system. That one man is Ayatollah Khamenei, and we don't know who he's going to vote for yet. If it is Saeed Jalili, as a lot of the pundits fully expect, let's keep in mind that Jalili has said that Iran will not compromise with the international community over its right to enrich uranium. We could, as a result of that, see the perceived risk of a military strike going up, oil prices going up accordingly. Let's keep in mind that in March of last year, concerns over a possible military strike sent Brent to 128.
How do you see Abenomics changing the world?
Abenomics is really principally about Japan, but it's about Japan in two senses. First of all, it's about Japan's economy, about rebuilding a strong economy in Japan. But secondly, it's also about more subtle constitutional and societal changes in Japan. Shinzo Abe has made no secret of the fact that he wishes to make pretty sweeping changes to Japan's post-war constitution, including over Article 9, the article which governs Japan's defence profile, a response to the growing economic and indeed military might of China. Tensions between China and Japan have swelled up over the last 6 or 7 months. I don't think that those tensions are going to go away, certainly not in the run-up to the upper house election, where nationalism will be one of the themes which the LDP uses to ensure what we think will be a solid election victory. And afterwards, if Japan does move towards amending its constitution, we are going to see China probably reacting quite negatively to that. Put all this in the context of America's strategic pivot, and what we see is some significant changes in geopolitical tensions throughout East and Southeast Asia. In that respect, the meeting between Xi Jinping and Barack Obama last weekend is potentially very important indeed, as China and the US look to avoid what we geopoliticians call Thucydides' trap, dating back to the time of the rise of Athens and Sparta's violent reaction to that.